It's been a bit, but let's talk some horror news, y'all. So the Oscars happened last night. I don't want to talk about that. We've already got a video over there. So if you want to go check that out, check it out. Very excited that The Substance got an award, but kind of a little baffled by some of the other things. But let's talk horror news here. Let's start off with a big one. Clayface will work as a pure horror film, according to James Gunn. And this is what Gunn said during a whole thing with it. He says, works as a pure horror movie for somebody who doesn't care at all about DC. A body horror film is what he added. So I'm very excited about that. I think it's great to see that they want to really approach Clayface in a way that's going to feel different and fresh and new. I think this is an interesting approach from Gunn to really try and sort of like make the DCU a little different than the MCU, where the MCU is all about continuity and all of that. I think a lot of people have sort of tapped out to that. A lot of people don't want to keep having to keep up, right? Like, we're okay with just watching this movie, that movie, and there. And if you're not lost and you're okay if you didn't watch the last two DC movies and you can jump into the next one, I think that's what people really care about. So I'm excited to hear that they're trying this different approach. But let's move on to the next piece of news, and that is the Holland trailer is here. Now, this is a movie that I'm excited about. Mimi Cave, of course, directed Fresh, which is one of my favorite movies of the last four years. I don't remember. That came out like in 2021, right? But I did enjoy that movie. I think that that's some great performances from Daisy and also Sebastian. And Mimi Cave was one of those directors. I was like, let's see what they do next. Well, Holland is that film. It's going to premiere at South by Southwest. We have a trailer, and it's nothing of what I expected. Sometimes you see these movies, right? You see this picture, you see this still, and you're like, okay, that's going to be this. A trailer comes out totally different, and then possibly the movie's totally different from the trailer. I love it. Nicole Kidman, Matthew McFadyen, Gael Garcia Bernal, and Rachel Sennett star in this movie that says, a woman in a small Midwestern town suspects her husband of living a double life, but things may be worse than she initially imagined. Ooh, this looks good, honestly. I'm excited about it. We shall report once we watch it, but let me know what you think about Holland. So I reported about a year or two ago that Daniel Kaluuya was making a Barney movie. Turns out, yeah, this is coming from Mattel Films and Daniel Kaluuya. We have A24's live action Barney movie. No plot yet, but we have just learned that A24's Barney and Daniel Kaluuya movie is set for Ayo Dabiri to write the screenplay and is now in talks to star. I don't know what the hell this is going to be. It's probably going to be good though, so I'm excited. The Rule of Jenny Pin is a movie that I heard about at Fantastic Fest last year. I was going to watch it. This movie comes out this weekend. The movie stars John Lithgow as well as Jeffrey Rush. I'm excited about this movie. It looks insane. It was at Fantastic Fest. It's probably going to be good, and we are definitely going to watch this one here. Now, Clown and Cornfield. We're just talking about South by Southwest titles now, aren't we? But we have Clown and Cornfield that just released a trailer. Here's the film synopsis. This is actually based on a book that just recently came out as well, and it's going to premiere at South by Southwest, but it will come to you on May 9th, 2025. Quinn and her father have just moved to the quiet town of Kettle Springs, hoping for a fresh start. Instead, she discovers a fractured community that has fallen hard times after the treasured Bay Pen corn syrup factory burned down. As the locals bicker amongst themselves and tensions boil over, a sinister, grinning figure emerges from the cornfields to cleanse the town of its burdens, one bloody victim at a time. Welcome to Kettle Springs. The real fun starts when Friend of the Clown comes out to play. So I'm excited to see this film. It's going to premiere at South by Southwest. Trailer, it looks fun, I'm not gonna lie, but we'll see. Speaking of horror films, let's talk about the Philippus brothers Bring Her Back, which is their next film after Talk to Me. This is not Talk to Me 2, that is still on its way. The film basically says a brother and sister uncover a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother. Directed by Danny and Michael Philippou, starring Sally Hawkins. This is a movie, the trailer, chef's kiss. I think the Philippou brothers can do no wrong. Ever since RackaRacka, they got the vision, they got it down. Another film I'm excited for is Freaky Tales that had a trailer drop as well just recently. And this is a movie I missed at Sundance, y'all. It came out, I believe, last year at Sundance. It was so hard to get into this one. Pedro Pascal stars in this, so of course that meant people were going to line up for this one. But the movie will be coming out April 4th. The film is directed by Bowden and Fleck, and the synopsis reads, set in 1987 Oakland, Freaky Tales is a multi-track mixtape of colorful characters, an NBA star, a corrupt cop, a female rap duo, teen punks, neo-Nazis, and a debt collector on a collision course in a fever dream of showdowns and battles. Trailer looks insane. Movie was sounding good from everybody who watched it there. I'm there. We also have another horror film. This is the horror show, y'all. We talk just horror movies here. So I'm giving y'all the deets. So March 13th, set your calendars for Control Freak starring Kelly Marie Tran on Hulu. And this is going to be a movie that sounds interesting. Looks pretty good. So we'll see. Let's read what this movie is about. So Control Freak says a motivational speaker is tormented by an unrelenting itch on the back of her head. So that's all we know. So, I mean, it's going to sound like I'm excited to see what that means, but we shall see. So we got another trailer for The Woman in the Yard, which is quickly becoming one of my most anticipated films. I heard about this film at the beginning of the year. No clue it was coming out. Daniel Deadwyler stars in this. Daniel Deadwyler needs an award really, really soon because she's been doing some phenomenal stuff. But The Woman in the Yard will open in theaters on March 28th, 2025. And we have another trailer. There's already 2 trailers out for this. So very excited for this one. It looks very eerie and creepy. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it. David Howard Thornton stars as Screamboat Willie in the new film Screamboat that is coming to theaters April 2nd. A trailer has been released and it just looks batshit crazy. So I'm excited for that. Cannot wait to see what this film will be like, but we are definitely seated. Now, the final news I'm talking about today is the film The Assessment, which I watched back at TIFF, is finally getting released on March 21st and then hitting digital April 8th. Elizabeth Olsen, Alicia Vikander, Himesh Patel star in this film, and one of those films that was just like, what? Like, honestly, I was so fascinated by this film. I'm very curious how people will respond to it because I think there's going to be several things in this movie that people are going to be like, oh, they're going there and things like that. And I just think it's a fascinating movie. I would have loved it a lot. There's some things in it that I'm just not vibing with, and I'll talk about that in my review at the end of the week before the movie releases, so stay tuned for that. But I think in performance-wise and everything, Himesh is great. I think Alicia Vikander is amazing, and Elizabeth Olsen is so revelatory in this. So very excited to hear more of y'all when y'all watch it and see what y'all think. But that's just the horror news of the week so far. Last week I got some more stuff this week. South by Southwest is coming up, so stay tuned for some of the films I think people should keep an eye out at South by Southwest, and stay tuned for some surprises as well along the way. But as always, check out our Oscar video if you haven't already. We have it up, and I'll see all of you next time. Let's hit 40k, less than 2k for that, so very excited for it. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.